Hopefully this video doesn't suck. I'm off to the side. Can you see? There we go. Can we see? I'm out of the frame, in the frame. Hey everybody, welcome back. And today I have a real quick review for you, and I'm going to break these down beauty book by beauty book. But this review is going to be on the new Disney Villains beauty book, the Cast a Spell beauty books. There's 3 of them. There's the Evil Queen, there's Maleficent, and then there's Ursula. Now this look today is for a tutorial, kind of Halloween tutorial that I'm going to be putting up. It might already be up, I'm not sure. But this one is beautiful. I've worn this a couple of times already, and this is what the books look like. Now, I'm going to start off by talking packaging. These are not made by e.l.f., by the way. These are made by the same people that do like Black Radiance and Wet n Wild, but the quality is really good. It's a very heavy duty cardboard. They're $10. So is a pretty substantial packaging, but I do like all the details. I like, you know, the outside. They have, you know, all of the kind of details on the outside. It's got the Evil Queen. It's embossed with the red. So it's really pretty. And I love Disney, so I'm going to be a big nerd and just want to collect these So, but as far as the packaging goes, it's very nice for what you're getting. I love the artwork on it. You open it up and inside you get a mirror. Sorry, that's blinding you. And then you fold it out and you get 2 looks. You get a day and a night look, which kind of just offer step-by-step instructions, which is really nice. And then you have this very annoying flap right here, which I'm going to open. I am going to leave it on there just to protect the shadows, but, you know, not my favorite. Actually, I might take it off. But anyway, then you get 9 eyeshadows, a blush bronzer, and then you also get a, what am I talking about? Then you also get an eyeliner, a lip gloss, and a jumbo eye pencil, as well as a really nice quality brush. And I'm just going to go through these shadows one by one and talk about them a little bit. And I'm also going to pop up swatches so you can actually see the swatches in detail. Again, overall on the palette, the eyeshadows are very neutral, leading towards plum shades, plum purpley shades, which I really like. I think it's a very workable everyday palette. And so we're just going to go over the textures and the actual names and colors and my thoughts on these shadows. Alright, first off, you have Magic Spell. This is the lightest shade in the palette. It is a creamy matte shade. It does have a slight sheen to it, but it's nothing that's not workable. So if you want to use this, I do have this as my highlight today, as well as on the lid. Beautiful creamy shade. The next shade we have is Pure Evil. This is a little bit, whereas Magic Spell was a little bit warmer, this is a little bit more on the cool side. But the next shade we have is Pure Evil, which looks like this. And again, I'm going to insert swatches so you're going to be able to see it. But this is a little bit more of a cool cream toned shade. A little bit, I would say, just as light as Magic Spell. But again, you've got a warmer option and a cooler option. And again, both of these have that beautiful kind of satin finish. I would say there's no true mattes in this palette. All of the shades I feel like have some sort of sheen. I might correct myself on that, but just from what I've used so far. And then the third shadow in the top row is called Black of Night. And this again is a very light, beautiful lilac color. Again, it is more of a matte finish, but it's not a true matte. It's more of a satin sheen to it. So all 3 of these are absolutely beautiful, and I'm wearing all of these today. Again, I'm wearing Magic Spell as a highlight and on my inner portion of my lid, Pure Evil on the outer portion of my lid, and then Black of Night I used as a transition shade to kind of blend out my colors. Going on to the second row of shadows, the first one we have is called Cauldron, and this is a beautiful, just kind of mid-tone, I would say neutral to warm brown, and it is a very light color. It reminds me a lot of Max Kid, and again, it is a matte shade, but it does have, it's not a matte shade, it has that beautiful satin sheen to it, and I absolutely love this color. I used this as a transition yesterday for a purple smoky eye that I did, which I'll try and insert a picture if I have one. But absolutely beautiful. Love, love, love this shade. The next one is called Dungeon, and again, this is more of a cool toned brown shade. This is a little bit deeper. This shade builds up so beautifully in the crease. Oh my goodness. I love it, love it, love it. It is just wonderful. You can apply it. I applied this yesterday in my look over cauldron, and then I built it up deeper in the crease, and it just performed beautifully. And again, it's that matte with a slight sheen to it. And again, this is not a sheen that is going to be distracting. This is just going to be just a very soft satiny texture, very subtle sheen on the eyes. And then the third one in the second row is called Scream of Fright. Now this is a deep dark plum shade, and it does have a little bit of, looking at it, very fine like pinky purple micro glitter in here. And I used this one yesterday in my look to kind of in the outer portion of the lid, and to really use it on my lower lash line. Again, beautiful shade. This one tends to kick up a little bit of powder, but I don't experience a lot of fallout with this. And again, just beautiful texture on that. Last shade, and I have to preface this. These shadows kind of appear differently in the pan than these shadows, when you first get them in the pan, they look different than the actual shadow you're going to get. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but just don't be fooled. And I'm going to talk about this first one is the most significant. And the first one is called Curse. And again, it's that kind of matte satin finish. And in the pan, when I first got this, if I can find it, I'll insert a before and after picture. This looked like a black shadow with gold sparkle in it. And I don't know if you can tell, well, you'll be able to tell in the swatch because I'm going to put it in there. This is almost a green toned gray. It's a very odd color. It's very pretty. I do like it. And like Scream of Fright, it does tend to kick up a lot of powder in the pan, but once you get it on your eye, there's really no fallout. So it's not necessarily a bad thing because you do have another cool toned transition shade that does build up very well, but it's not what you're expecting. So if you're buying this palette for that deep dark black shade with the glitter, you know, you might want to pass because looks can be deceiving. Let's put it that way. Second one does kind of the same thing. When you see it, it is a deep dark, like plummy brown with like pink sparkles in it. But when you swatch it, and sorry, this is called Evil Beauty, it turns out to be more of a brown, like kind of a grayish brown with a purple undertone in it. And again, it's going to have more of a sheen than some of the shades that don't have that glitter overspray, I guess is what you want to call it. So it's going to have a little bit more of a sheen, but it's not going to be quite the color you expect. So some of these more dramatic glittery colors are not going to remain that dramatic glittery color. This is going to be, again, more of a subtle color, a cool toned, again, grayish brown. I personally don't mind it because this is a color that I can use every day. I can use it in the crease. It builds up beautifully again. So it's not what it first appears you're going to get, but I think as far as my needs, it, you know, kind of works to my benefit. So if you're somebody that these glitters are going to be scaring you away, fear not, because once you get through that top layer of shadow, it's going to be a very subtle, beautiful, buildable color. And then lastly, I have Her Highness. We have Her Highness. And again, this is going to be that same, it kind of in the pan, it looks, when you first purchase it, it looks like a kind of plummy purple, light plummy purple with gold glitter in it. If I can see from what I have left, gold pinky glitter. Once you get it in, you know, that top layer, it's going to be more of a cool toned purpley plummy brown. If that makes sense. And again, it's going to have more of a sheen like Evil Beauty and like Curse, but it's not going to be so it's not going to be quite as matte as some of the shades that look matte or satin matte in the pan, but it's not going to be chunky glittery. So I hope that helps. So those are the 9 shades. So overall, I really enjoy the eyeshadows. They're buttery, they're blendable, and they're buildable. So the 3 Bs, they got it. I really enjoy them, and I have used this palette a couple of times. The shadows lasted really well all day long. You know, there was minimal fading, but again, I was at work for like 10 hours, so can't hate for a $10 eyeshadow palette. So overall, the shadows in this shade are in this palette are a win for me. And even though these bottom three right here are not quite going to be what you think you're getting at first, as far as I'm concerned, it's not really a negative because you get these 3 beautiful shades that again build beautifully and can maybe be a little bit more wearable in your everyday routine as opposed to these deep dark dramatic shades with glitter in them. So again, if you're somebody who really likes the glitter and you're buying the palette for the glitter, I'd probably pass because you're going to be disappointed. If you're somebody who likes a little bit more toned down look and that glitter scaring you away, you might want to give this palette a chance. The next product you're going to get in here is called Trickery, and it's this one right here, and it is labeled as a pressed powder. So I guess depending on your skin tone, it could be a bronzer or a blush, or but again, it's got that beautiful buttery texture to it. It's got a very subtle sheen to it. So this could be one of those, if you're really fair, maybe one of those, you know, your cheeks but better color, because it is going to show up very naturally and subtly on the skin. If you're a little bit darker, this shade is probably not going to do much for you, other than it could be a great, again, warm brown eyeshadow. And it's a little bit more warm than Cauldron. So this is Cauldron and this is Trickery. So you're going to get some too. If you can't use it as a face powder, you have another beautiful option for a transition shade, mid-tone brown in your transition, in your crease, on your lid, however you want to do it. The next product in here I have not used, and that is the pencil eyeliner. Just swatching it here, it's pretty basic, and this one is called, Dark Shadows. Basic, you know, black pencil eyeliner. It's not too creamy, but it's not too hard. It's pretty much, depending on, you know, if you are used to even something like a Rimmel Scandal Eyes or a Maybelline or a L'Oreal or what, this is probably going to be a product that just sits in the pan for you. But if you do not have any black eyeliner, it is very usable. It is not, and it's by no means waterproof, so it will smudge. So I would not necessarily say this is a, you know, all-out win for the product. When these e.l.f. comes out with these beauty books, and Mark Wynn has come out with these beauty books, this is kind of, I hate to say a throwaway product, but it's not a product that you would necessarily reach for if you have an extended eyeliner collection. So, but it's nice to have, and it does have the special packaging on there, so again, not a terrible thing. Alright, the next product we have is a lip gloss, and it's got the cute little Evil Queen packaging on there, and this is called Poison Apple. This is in the tube, it looks like a very warm berry shade. I am not a lip gloss girl in general, but this one, it just tends to be very sheer on the lips. It doesn't add a lot of color at all. So again, not one of those products I'm going to get a lot of use out of. I'm mainly going for the eyeshadows in this palette, but it's cute. It's there if you have got a young girl, you know, and you don't want her wearing crazy pigmented lip gloss. This, you know, is very usable. So it is usable, but again, not a highlight of this palette by any means. The next product we have in here is kind of exciting, and I've never really seen one of these in one of these palettes before, and that is a jumbo, like mini jumbo crayon, and this is called Vain, and this is it's got the packaging on it. I don't know if you can see the Evil Queen's crown, and this is a really pretty gold jumbo pencil. You do have to press pretty hard to get some payoff out of this. If you don't, it's going to be a very subtle color. If you press a little bit harder and layer it, it will build up. I did use this as a base yesterday for my eyes, and it worked great. It is pretty, again, nice to have. It's not the greatest product in this palette, but it is, again, nice to have, and it's just another tool if you do not have a extended collection, or if you're, you know, you're buying this for a young girl and you want her to have something that maybe is not so crazy in your face. Alright, the very last product in this palette is the eyeshadow brush, and again, it's really cute. It comes with a little Evil Queen detail on the bottom. This is a very solid brush. It feels substantial. It's nice. It's soft. It has a good cut to it. It does have a pinched ferrule, and it has a nice taper to it, so this is good. You can either get into the crease with it, it's good for packing on eyeshadow, and if you kind of flip it vertically, it is good for blending out shadow because it is so soft and fluffy. So this I am very, very impressed with, and I love this. I love this little brush, and this comes in all of them, I'm pretty sure. So this is a great, great addition to the palette. So really, you could do a whole eye look with this brush, and I did yesterday, and so super impressed with that. And just in comparison, this is the e.l.f. This is their $1 eyeshadow brush. Again, it's much softer, it's fluffier, it is more substantial, it's got a better cut to it. Even the special edition ones that came in the e.l.f. Princess palettes, it is a little bit shorter, but again, really like it. So it's denser, fluffier, got a better cut to it. And then as far as the e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush, which is part of their studio line, again, it's going to be fluffier. It's going to be about the same denseness, but I do find this one to be a little bit softer. So just some comparisons there for you if you are looking to compare it to some other brushes of the same, you know, kind of price point. So overall, thoughts on this palette. You know, the extra products you get in there are nice, but as far as the eyeliner and the lip gloss, I will probably never use these. The jumbo eyeshadow pencil, I will, and the brush, I definitely will. You can, again, create a whole look with this palette. As far as the pressed powder and the eyeshadows, they are beautiful. Again, the texture is amazing. It's buttery. Some of these shadows, especially again, the bottom three, do kick up some powder in the pan, but I haven't experienced a lot of fallout with them. They wear well. And again, they're buildable, they're blendable, and they feel so good. They're just so soft and richly textured. And I am super impressed with this palette. So yeah, if you are maybe on the fence about this, you know, and you are an eyeshadow kind of girl, definitely, you know, pick this palette up. Again, don't be fooled by the glittery, deep, dark, dramatic shades in this palette, because they are going to be toned down severely once you get that, you know, through that top layer of eyeshadow, which is kind of messed up. I mean, I wish they would have just put these colors in the palette originally, because I think they're beautiful and usable, but just buyer beware. So again, if you're buying them for those deep, dark, dramatic, glittery shades, you're going to want to pass, because as soon as you get it home and get your brushes into it, you're going to be disappointed. But if you're not, if you're just looking for a beautiful, neutral, everyday eyeshadow palette, something to start your daughter's collection, or a granddaughter, or a niece, or, you know, a friend's daughter, and, you know, it's getting around Christmas time, this would be a beautiful, beautiful gift for only $10. So I hope this review was helpful. I hope you like the swatches. I am kind of nervous about making this video because I've never done a picture, and I'm bumping up my editing game, guys. I'm trying really hard for you. So, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. You guys have an amazing day. Have a rocking week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.